Safari in Botswana is all about the north, right? If that's what you think, let me prove you wrong. Everyone and their auntie.
Hey auntie.
Thinks Botswana equals Okavango Delta plus Chobe. Meanwhile, the east is just sitting here, a few hours from Gaborone, completely underrated. So, we packed the car and road trip to Tuli Wilderness for a weekend escape. Apparently, there are cheetah cubs in the area, and obviously we had to take that chance. And while everyone talks about peak safari season and the dry months, what if I told you the green season is actually one of the most beautiful times to visit? Think lush landscapes, dramatic skies, and baby animals everywhere. Let's see if the east of Botswana can steal the spotlight and whether luck is on our side.
You shall never forget beautiful Botswana.
We're on a road trip in Botswana on the way to Tuli. I'm so excited. We both took the day off, Bavik and I. But before we go to Tuli and emerge into the safari experience, we're going to have some lunch. And Bavik will tell us where we're going to have some lunch today.
So we are having lunch at Betty's. Betty is a Botswana who runs a B&B and a cultural experience, and her place is called Ledoba Bed and Breakfast. And I actually found her place online. I was looking for a place to stay in Gaborone, which is the nearest town, which we've just passed, and all the hotels there were full. So I was looking for somewhere nearby and came across this place which had some good reviews, and I thought it would be interesting. I didn't really know that her whole thing was about the cultural experience as well. So the first time I went, it was a really nice surprise. They were super warm and friendly, very open and welcoming. The food was like traditional, nutritious, delicious, and I just left the place with a really warm feeling in my heart. So really want to go back there.
And I'm so excited as well, just by the way Bavik described it all. I didn't really introduce you because I feel like you don't need an introduction. But this is my friend Bavik, who's the best person to go on safari with. Even though I've been in Botswana longer than you have, you know much more about the different places where you can see wildlife. And I didn't know about Tuli until Bavik actually mentioned it. So thanks to you, we're here now.
Oh.
So, we made the most wholesome little stop at Ledoba Bed and Breakfast. And I'm not exaggerating when I say I didn't want to leave here. Meet Betty and Moya Habo, the entrepreneurial power couple behind Ledoba.
Welcome to our little village.
Yeah. Thank you. It's so nice to meet you.
Hi.
I'm Sarah. And from the moment we arrived, we weren't guests. We were treated as family. And let's not forget Kelly. She's running the show here too. We came for lunch. Everything is farm to table. And when I say farm to table, I mean their farm.
And then we have our traditional earthen pots for cooking. This is beef. Yes. And then we have this. This is creamed pumpkin leaves.
Cooked the traditional way. It was so fresh, so flavorful. The city really can't compete. I genuinely felt like my body said thank you.
Very delicious. Very delicious.
The baobab juice was my personal highlight. And this, nature's own toothpick. Tell me that's not iconic. If you didn't know, I run a page spotlighting black-owned hotels and accommodations across Africa. Because local ownership matters. Ledoba is the latest addition.
Karuma ruma we, karuma ruma we, karuma ruma we, karuma ruma we.
And I already know I'll be back. Back on the road, it was time for Tuli Block, and we didn't have to wait long for the bush to remind us we'd arrived. Our first animal sighting came almost immediately. My favorite thing! And right on cue, as we pulled into Tuli Wilderness, there was an elephant casually hanging out at camp like it's completely normal. Seeing one before we'd even checked in made the welcome lunch feel even more surreal. By the time we headed out for our first evening drive, it already felt like Tuli was showing off. And then, something really special, a glimpse of a brown hyena. They're notoriously shy and rarely seen. Meanwhile, Bavik was fully committed to getting the perfect shot of a leopard tortoise. Please do not attempt this at home. Stay in the vehicle, kids. What struck me the most was how lush everything looked. The green season transforms the landscape. Tall grass, everything alive. It almost felt like stepping into a Garden of Eden. And just when I thought the evening couldn't get better, we came across more elephants, a whole family. This has been and will probably always be my favorite sighting whenever I'm on safari. There's something about watching them move together as well. Calm, powerful, completely unbothered. Well, mostly. The lights softened, the sky turned golden, and we paused for a sundowner. The perfect ending to our first evening in Tuli. Even without seeing the cheetah cubs.
5:50, bang on the dot. You know how it is when you go on safari. You need to be an early bird. But it's not as bad as usual because at least the sun is already up. So yes, 5:50. I will have a coffee because I need one, and then in about 10 minutes we're off on the morning game drive. We did not see the cheetah mom and her cubs yesterday, and I really hope today will be lucky. So that's my main priority or wish for today, that we see the cheetah with the cubs. Fingers crossed. You never know what you're gonna get on safari.
I was super excited for our morning game drive, and Tuli Wilderness was looking so serene and peaceful. I headed to the deck for a morning coffee, convinced that this was the most perfect spot to start the day. Or so I thought. Wait for later. Not long after setting off, we were treated to something really special. Another brown hyena sighting, but this time with cubs. Tuli officially became the first place I've ever seen brown hyenas. Before this, I had only ever seen spotted hyenas. And while these animals don't have the best reputation, they're incredibly social animals. Watching this mom move alongside her two cubs felt intimate, like we were being let in on something we weren't necessarily meant to see, and it was so special. And then, of course, my favorite, elephants. In Botswana, they're never exactly a surprise, but they're also never ordinary. We definitely disturbed this one's morning lion. Honestly, I'd be annoyed too. Humans really do show up everywhere. Since I don't travel with a telephoto lens, these beautiful close-ups are courtesy of Bavik. Proof that teamwork very much makes the safari dream work. A little further on, we came across another herd moving through the tall grass. Birds lifting into the sky around them, elephants heading out for breakfast. And now this was the perfect spot for a morning coffee. I wish all mornings looked like this. Right there, I got my favorite shot of the whole trip. No cats, no cheetahs needed, just a young elephant waving a hello in the grass while birds took off around. Perfectly timed. Someone cue the Lion King soundtrack immediately. The next stop didn't exactly sound like my kind of land. Just remember this hill. Yes, Gilbert and Bavik had the brilliant idea of walking up it.
Golden rule is that never ever run in the bush. So if you run in the bush, you never know what's in front of you. You see one elephant, you run into a big head of elephants. So this is why I say we never ever run in the bush. So we are going to walk in a single file, everybody behind me, then I'll be walking in front, and there'll be some sign languages that I'm going to use as we walk.
I've never done a walking safari in my life, and I won't lie, I wasn't exactly keen to start now. There's something about stepping out of the vehicle that really humbles you, but we went for it. And at the top, I have to admit, the view delivered. Rolling hills, river winding below, that endless green stretching out in every direction. Tell me this doesn't look like something straight out of Lion King. Pride Rock energy, I'm sorry. Worth it? Absolutely. From up here we even spotted another elephant herd crossing the river in the distance, tiny from where we stood, but completely commanding the landscape. It's a different perspective when you're not at eye level. After making it safely back down, because yes, I was fully alert the whole time, it was time for a tea and coffee break. Along with sundowners, these little pauses are honestly one of my favorite part of safaris. Just standing there, stretching your legs, having a little chit chat and listening to the bush. And on the drive back to camp, we had one more sighting, not exactly Big Five energy, but special in its own way. A dung beetle, completely focused on its mission. These little guys are so hardworking. Back at camp, I had some much appreciated downtime, and when your lodge looks like this, how can you not relax? Tuli Wilderness has several camps actually, and this one is Serolo. Okay, time for the last evening game drive of the trip, and I won't lie, we were starting to get a little nervous. Where are the cats? Still, every drive here reminded me of why Tuli is so special. The landscape alone is enough to keep you looking around in disbelief. We even saw the brown hyena again, clearly the real star of the trip. It also helps that the den is close to camp. And then there were these little warthog babies. We actually saw a few of them, and I swear they might be the most entertaining animals out there. Tiny bodies, but big personalities. And of course, elephants. You know it's always a good game drive when I see an elephant. Hi, yes, I love you too. As the sun started to dip, we stopped by the riverbank for sundowners and took a moment to soak it all in and take stock of the day. One of my favorite sightings actually came after sunset. Fireflies! Tiny lights flickering all around us in the dark. Simple but so beautiful. By now, the brown hyenas were part of our morning routine. And then...
So we're off tracking a leopard that was briefly sighted but went behind rocks, and we just went behind the rocks to see if we could find it, but it's a bit difficult getting through the thick mopane bush.
After searching for a while, we got the magic call. The leopard was sighted again. This is kind of the third near miss with a leopard. Okay, we're speeding now to find it because we spotted it, or someone else spotted it again. And drumroll, we finally found her. Can you spot the leopard? This sounds like something out of Dora or Miss Rachel. Can you spot the leopard? Well, here she is, giving herself a morning wash, but also keeping a watchful eye on us humans below. What a magnificent sighting, and well worth the wait. And, as usual with these elusive cats, one moment they're here, the next they're gone. We also saw these cute zebra babies, still getting their breakfast directly from mum. So, the cat's out of the bag, no pun intended. We didn't see the cheetah with her cubs, but we had this delicious consolation breakfast, and who could ever be disappointed with this view? And still, the adventure wasn't quite over yet.
Pavik, what are we doing here?
So we're in a village called Matabane. We've come to see some ancient cave paintings, rock paintings. The lady who was meant to meet us at the Kotla is not at the Kotla, and she gave us a long explanation as to why, which was of mild interest, but really we just wanted her to be at the Kotla.
She wanted to tell us why though.
Yeah. So she asked us to come and meet her at the clinic. Through a very long description of directions which I didn't really pay attention to. So I thought, let me just put it into Google Maps. I thought Google Maps had then misdirected us.
Did it actually say here?
Yeah, something like this, but it hadn't misdirected us. It's just the clinic is a deeply unremarkable building which is also quite far from the actual trap road, so it's quite easy.
But there were very helpful people.
Yeah, they were
who directed us to said clinic.
Correct. There were two guys walking who were not so helpful, but then like a combi started hooting at us and shouting at us, asking what were we looking for and to go closer. And
Now we're waiting for Alicia.
we're parked under a tree. I've got as close to the tree trunk as possible for maximum shade, which means that I can't open my door, but that's okay. Let's see if Elisa shows herself. Yeah, Elisa Makwatana.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she will show us the painting.
So she has undertaken. If she appears, but let me give her another call.
To be continued. Eventually, Elisa came through and took us on this side quest to find some ancient rock paintings. Don't get me wrong, they were cool, but the heat was killing me, which might have dampened my enthusiasm in the moment.
A long trek back to the car with Elisa. Bavik just ran ahead. Let's see how long it takes him to find out that I have the car key.
Anyway, good people, this marks the end of our Tuli adventure. I will leave you with some epic drone shots as a final reminder why the east of Botswana is worth visiting. If this video hasn't convinced you, I don't know what will. So, see you in the next video and thanks for watching.
Botswana, you shall never forget. Beautiful Botswana.